Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another Monday night here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Matthew. Whatever I am today, I'm yours. Before we jump into what happened last time in our session tonight, a couple of quick thanks we want to call out. Twitch, we use their platform to bring our insanity into your homes, into your lives. And then we have Little Dragon Corp. If you put exclamation point Little Dragon into chat, give you a link to their website. Don't forget to use the discount code PROBONUS. You'll get 10% off your order. They ship anywhere in the globe. So definitely check them out. We love them. We show them all the time. You hear me talking about them. If I don't say at least once per session that I'm using dice I received from them, I tend to get really low rolls with them. So, hey, definitely check them out. And also Cardboard Castle Games, our friendly local game store down in Evans, Georgia. You can put exclamation point CCG into the chat. Get you a link to their website. You can check out all their D&D stuff, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all that stuff. If you happen to live local to them or you're in the area, swing by, let them know that you heard about them through Proficiency Bonus and you're a fan of the channel, and they'll give you 10% off your purchase at their brick and mortar location. So definitely check those two people out. And with that, we're going to jump into, I guess I'll say, our ongoing adventure of a more studious bent currently. Our party has been spending the last few days at Candlekeep, researching various different points of concerns, some more general for the group, some very specific, or just some very specific to them personally. Some at the same time, some separate from the party. So at this point, our lovely wizard friend Art, who as you can see in our overlay, unfortunately is not able to be with us this evening, eventually was able to communicate with an extraplanar entity. After asking, we'll phrase it, the wrong question a couple of times, asked the proper question, and was given exactly what they were seeking. And upon hearing that, proceeded to start reading this spell book. We'll call it a spell book. There's other things within it, but it does have quite a few spells in there from a strange mage by the name of Fistandantilus. Artemis and the majority of the group actually made their way to a meeting with the Great Reader. And upon Artemis explaining how they had received this ability, the Great Reader attempted to cast the same spell, and unfortunately overtaxed their mind. As they had a slight mental breakdown, some concerns were shared, some spells were cast by our lovely friend Murdoch, and the Great Reader went to their private reading hole. The party attempted to rob, we'll call it what it is. Our cleric attempted to convince our lovely grandmother to rob the Great Reader. The rogue picked a drawer without checking to see if it was trapped and got sucked inside a gem. Eventually, they got the Great Reader back out of their private study and into their office to await someone from the temple that Fury had gone to get some help from. So overall, it had been quite an interesting day for the group so far. After a bit of a cool-down period, everyone had met back at the hearth and pretty much settled in for the evening for the most part, with a few individuals taking off for a little while to do a little bit of private studying. Now, those individuals, Furia, Lydia, and Sarah, had gone, requested their information about their little tidbits, had gotten it, eventually making their way back to the room after obtaining all of their information, And I leave it with the three of you at the moment, because realistically, everyone else has already turned in for the evening at this point, as you are all arriving back. Would you all just be heading to your rooms and pretty much conking out for the night, or would there be any last minute things you're doing after you? Thank you for the heads up on the stream being quiet. Let me pump up my desktop audio here a little. Okay, if someone can let me know if that's any better. The volume's here. But in the meantime, what would the rest of you be doing? Would you just be heading into bed, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay, I can hear us on Twitch now.
Okay. Yeah, mine. The microphone's still showing okay, so maybe it's just the way I was facing, but I will definitely keep an eye on that. And please, any of you watching at home, definitely if you have us or ping us in chat. I can see the Twitch chat on my screen to the side, so we'll be able to keep an eye on that. But okay, so with everyone else turning in, eventually the next morning arrives. As the group of you start to come to consciousness, some of you a little earlier than others. Make your way down to the hearth. You can see the staff is already down there starting to get breakfast ready for people. The day is yours.
I'd be downstairs pretty early, eating, waiting for the rest of the party to appear.
I would take some work, some notes, or maybe even some of my sheet music that I've been still working on off and on. Maybe bring it downstairs to sort of continue to fuddle over with my breakfast.
Okay.
Would be just sitting there trying to, a little tired, reflecting on what I learned previous evening. Nothing too big.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd head down for breakfast as well, and my book would be packed away. I studied some yesterday, but it's packed away for now, so just heading down for some breakfast.
Perfect. And Sarah?
I would like to come to my table and hand Lydia and Murdoch a little cup of tea. And also Furia.
We will probably just leave it on the table.
Oh. Thank you, Granny. The more caffeine, the better this morning for me.
That's why I got you a black tea.
Right. As opposed to...
A green?
Well,
Sounds like grass and disgusting.
green tea is very good. Well, I suppose the overarching task that we had set out to accomplish has been accomplished. I could stay at Candlekeep for the rest of my days. But
Well, we'll miss you.
but
Oh, sorry, didn't see that come.
I know that there are other things that need to be done and things that are in the process
Yes.
of doing.
I thought you meant
So-
to retire or something here. And
No, I couldn't. No.
You're trying to get rid of her or something, Lydia. What?
never.
Retirement. I've never thought of it. How goes everyone's personal research? Is there anything perhaps that we need to get full copies of at the House of Binding? Is our time here in Candlekeep starting to come to an end?
I think I have all the information from here that I need, that I know that they have, or don't have.
I'm out of questions. It's not like I have the answers, but don't know what to ask anymore.
Hmm.
I'm in the same boat as Lydia.
Well, that is why it is a place of learning that you can come and go to. You can learn what you can, go back out into the world, and then return when you have more questions.
I don't know, it kinda took us a long way to get here. It's like,
And we'd need to give them
50
something else
episodes.
next time.
I know.
We would. Unless perhaps we can make some sort of arrangement with this book that is currently only decipherable from.
Do you think they have a teleportation circle here that we could say that we can visit the book and study the book for them? And get access to?
I actually believe that teleportation in and out of.
Why are you
Candlekeep
doing this, Murdoch?
Don't call out what the real person is. I don't know.
As Lydia has broken female rule number 1, never ask a woman about her beard.
That's number 2. If you are a female, you know number 1.
I don't believe that teleportation in and out of Candlekeep is possible. At least not for guests.
Well, we're not guests, we're privileged ambassadors for the book.
Who are making guest appearances, unfortunately, still.
Not if I have a lawyer that knows what to say.
I mean...
Eh? With my
I
little
mean-
attorney.
If I caught the right ear, I mean, perhaps, but no promises.
Okay.
Well,
Artemis
think
does
that-
eventually make their way down to join you all for breakfast. You can see Artemis does look to be very tired this morning. Just as they were up late studying.
Were we allowed to have this particular book copied, or did we not ask?
The book that Artemis has in their possession.
Yes.
We can't
So-
get a copy.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't-
the group has had that discussion a couple of times.
Okay.
Being that Artemis is the only person who can currently read it,
Mhm.
it's not something that you can get a copy of.
Oh, right.
That's how we broke
weekly
that one
schedules,
fellow's
right.
brain.
Yes.
Can we work out something with Candlekeep that
Artemis.
Artemis can take this book, if, like, in exchange, we maybe...
They translate it.
They translate it and give them a translated copy. I don't know if... I feel like, at least, I know that Art wants to read the rest of the spells in it. So
Oh.
I know that much.
Yeah,
And I think Art did get a pass to get the spells in it that they could read, copied down at a lesser price
Yeah. We get
Um,
something for bartering.
at one point.
Yep. So there is Art did. Well, I shouldn't specifically say Art because it was the group in general.
Mhm.
Because everyone was, just about everyone was present for it. But the Great Reader did provide a scroll to Art to get things copied over at a lower rate. As for getting permission to take a book outside of Candlekeep, that is something that would have to be requested from... You'd have to go straight to the top. As most of you would... Well, I don't know if most of you... I know Murdoch would probably be aware of it. Artemis, being more book-learned, may be aware of it. That typically tomes, once gifted to Candlekeep, are enchanted to once they... Literally, if they pass the door's threshold, they just vanish and appear back in their home, their proper spot within the library.
Okay, I was scared you were gonna say they burst into flames.
Yeah, explode. Yep.
Oh no, they turn
This
into a
is-
sphere of annihilation and they just suck you in and shred your body.
This- Thankfully,
They tried to do
Rayburn
that to
Theory
me.
did not design Candlekeep.
They designed it to prevent thieves, not to murder people.
Okay.
Well,
Fair enough.
I'm in a little bit of a conundrum because I know it. I feel like it would be dishonest to be like, well, we'll leave, and Artemis, you'll have to leave the book. So I feel like it's kind of a case of like,
Would we
gotta get through the book.
would we be able to let Artemis transcribe it themselves? Since they're the only one that can read it. No, they can't transcribe it and bring a copy for himself.
No,
If we get special
Candlekeep.
permission.
Basically, if anyone from Candlekeep catches you like straight copying a book,
No. If we got like permission to transcribe it
you
instead
could-
of
you could
Since
try
you-
again.
you're
You'd
the
have to
one
go
that
to
can
the
read it,
top.
Yeah. Okay.
You'd have to speak with
other-
the first reader.
The other problem that I thought was that there was spells in it that were too high for art, that
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
because
That-
they're not high enough a wizard to read them,
Yeah.
they don't know what they are and
Yeah,
therefore can't
that's right
copy
about
them.
that. Yeah.
Art
Right.
can read like the first couple pages.
Yeah,
So you can
normally.
see
Some
there-
spells.
Yeah, something
Maybe
like
the
that.
better thing would be to see if they have the teleportation circle. They would give us access to for being able to read the book and transcribe it as we grew.
Or one of you
More
magic users
experienced.
could drop a teleportation circle.
I mean, that
Yeah.
like without telling them or getting permission first.
I'm
No, like-
pretty sure they would figure it out pretty fast, even if any of
Yeah.
us could do that.
I
I'm
think.
getting
Well, I
permission.
guess we could ask if they have one first. I mean, if they don't, they don't. But
Well, I wish Artemis was actually here so I could ask what they want to do, because Artemis never had a formal teacher, did they? They taught themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Because maybe, like, you know, leave the book here with the reader, but essentially they study it together
Ooh, I like that idea.
as sort of like an
Art did
apprenticeship.
tell the reader how to get the key to the book. They just failed at it. So I mean,
True.
it's no telling that they could try again later and decode the book themselves.
I mean, the means have been revealed, 'tis true, but perhaps maybe even if the reader makes contact, the being contacted may simply deign to say no. But we don't know until the reader makes an attempt again and is actually successful.
Judging on the way the healers react, I think we might be here a while for that to happen.
Right, but this is a conundrum. There are other things that I want to check back on Baldur's Gate, and I want to definitely check back on the house.
And we have other places to be. Like, we still have what was it? Lumber to go to? That we were
Yes.
asked to solve a problem. I believe there was bandits or something.
And,
Maybe that was somewhere else.
and Sarah has many leads of which should be pursued.
Yes.
I mean, I
If-
guess we could leave the book here and just hop back on our way
Could we?
past again. I don't.
No, we're not going to be going past this place again.
Mm.
It's all the way at the bottom, and we want to go all the way back up to the top.
True.
Murdoch, you're
guess-
holding up your finger.
For ease, perhaps maybe we could at least, us, make our travels to maybe back to Baldur's Gate. Art can spend that time studying here at Candlekeep, working with the reader, and then perhaps
If we have
the
a
reader could teleport Artemis ahead to rejoin us. I know it
I-
goes against the rule, but I do find Candlekeep to be the safest place in the world.
guess the great reader can do that. Should we just go see if they'd be willing to?
It's going to take a while to get the spells copy that Art can read anyway. So,
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, that would break the group rule of leaving Art by themselves.
I suppose I could do. I mean, I'm okay with also staying. Like I said, I could be here for a very,
Yeah, I
very
was-
long time.
Gonna say, do we want maybe one or two of us to stay behind with Art for this, or?
Well, I mean, my next place to be is all the way back up by Daggerford and Waterdeep. Like, I don't really have any reason to stop for long in Baldur's Gate, so I might as well stay here anyway. So it seems like a we all go or we all stay situation.
So Art volunteers and says if you all want to leave, we can speak to them and see about getting me sent along after. I would just we'd need to be able to communicate so that I know where we're getting sent to.
What's that, Artemis? You would want to come with us, Artemis?
But what about the book? Would you leave it behind?
What about all the fancy spells in the book?
You're fine with leaving the book behind, Artemis?
Why are you speaking so quietly today, Art?
Artemis has reached out from the ether. So it looks like the book is being the book will be left and Artemis will join you.
Go have some ginger and honey tea, Artemis.
If we ever come this way again, I'm sure perhaps it may be. We can
You're
check
sure
back in
perhaps
with the
it
reader.
may be.
Well, maybe if we're not leaving today, maybe go see what spells you want out of the book. I mean, even at full price, we have enough money for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if it's only a certain amount you can read, maybe, I mean, if we stay one more day, is that enough time?
I can always get a few more
What
notes.
they need?
And Rose, I'd be happy to continue to pour through that training manual that you've been
Oh,
working
yeah.
on.
Yeah, that would be good.
What's one more day?
Yes, we shall stay
It's a nice
one more
vacation.
day.
One day
Uh,
more?
Yes,
one more day till
Artemis.
revolution?
We
You'll nip it in the bud?
you can copy as many spells as you could use and or use the scroll coupon.
It's like we'll be joining the schoolboys.
Can I get do they take Cole's cash?
Do I hear
They
a
would-
choir in the background somewhere?
They only take
Yes,
coupons.
Artemis, you don't have to leave the party alone.
Your place is here, you'll fight with us.
Let's do that.
For those on Twitch, I actually live in the same house as Artemis.
Nope. It is literally Sarah's player just hears voices.
What's that, Murdoch? You say you're going to exempt me from all murder I possibly do in this campaign?
No one can hear you, Murdoch. You're muted.
You
That's
are
the joke.
muted.
That was the voice.
Oh.
Wow.
So
Okay, so
Art will
One
spend
more.
some time if everyone's taking another day. Where Art's not here, Vizirog will permit it. Will permit Art to spend time with the binder. Even though Art is the one doing the work, Art still will have to pay using the discounted rate. As they are allowing Art to copy them in, but Art will be able to get it's an hour per spell level. So if Art spends basically the full day, like 8 to 10 hours, Art will be able to copy every spell that's in the book of a level that they can cast.
Oh,
Why don't we
nice.
just say that Artemis got an extra boost from this caffeinated tea and we make it the full 12 hours?
are they able to? Is someone able to? Can two wizards work on that, or is that sort of like the wizard has to do it themselves?
Well, Artemis is the only one that can read the book, but Artemis has to ask someone to transcribe the book. So I'm thinking that Artemis has to like verbally say to the
Dictate it.
transcriber.
It's like the end of the Book of Eli.
The what?
The Book of Eli. It's a
Oh
good
man,
movie.
spoilers.
Oh, the Book of Eli.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
I know. I covered my mouth. I was like, "Wait, spoilers!" And I was like, "That movie's like
Yeah.
10 years old.
very old."
I think that's past the statute there.
Yeah, it's 11 years old.
Okay. Oh my god.
And Murdoch will work with Rose on the training manual like we did before.
Okay. Rose, go ahead and make an intelligence check, again with advantage because you're getting help. Oh,
I'll also give her bardic inspiration,
okay.
encouraging her because she's been doing so well. I'm very proud.
Intelligence.
I want to see you. I want to see some of these techniques lift off the page.
A D8.
A D8.
That's a 17 total.
And that is enough.
Hey.
So that is, I believe, your second successful.
Yes.
You need one more. Now, it sounds like the party is planning on leaving tomorrow, correct?
I think so, yeah.
So, Rose, would you be giving them this book to copy it for you overnight?
Yes, I think I already did, right? And I got like
I can't remember if you... I
think
know
they're gonna
we had talked about it, I just can't remember if you had already done it or not.
Yeah, I did, and they were gonna signal me once it was
Okay.
complete.
Yeah, it was actually one of the you like immediately went and had them start copying it.
I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
Then that's
Because
already
we made
done.
The joke about
So we can say was Art went over there. You all picked up your copy of it, so now you have your own transcribed version of it you can keep.
Okay.
Can I get how much does it cost for a book to get transcribed again? Or passage rather?
Let me
It was
double
100.
check. I think if I remember, it's 100.
I feel like
or-
it was
100 for 10 pages? Or 100 per tome? No?
for some reason I
Kevin
feel
has
like I spent 300. I don't know.
Check
If that's correct or
on
not,
the
but-
binder. Okay. Copy and binding of a typical book costs 100 gold or so, double if you need it translated. Much larger books can incur additional charges, and spell books are 50 gold per level of spell contained within it.
But yeah, that's like a whole book cover
Yeah.
to cover.
So realistically, for Rose, it would have been 100 gold to get that book copied.
Okay.
And then again, for Art, I'll have to get all that down and send it over to Art after stream, so Art knows what spells that they can add to their spell book. And basically, the coupon that the Great Reader gave, it gives Art half off. Which, isn't a bad deal, but isn't a great deal given that, Art's still doing a lot of the work.
Could I perhaps persuade them for Artemis?
How?
Or is Artemis already gone?
Well, what would you be trying to...
Just, the persuasion of, Artemis is the only one that can read the tome, and they have to verbally say it. I don't know how magic and all that works, but Artemis has to say all the spells to you, and I'm sure there's squiggles and sigils and such involved, and
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
let's see what happens, guys. This is 16.
And actually, that's going to come down to... Let me see what their modifier is. Okay, and sort of gives you the once over, and does it... I'm very sorry, ma'am. We have this instructions from the Great Reader specifies that we will do the work, but we will do this at half the normal cost. We appreciate what you're saying, but again, we are allowing this individual to take this information that under normal circumstances they would not be able to leave the premises with.
I hand him one cookie.
Thank you, ma'am. And he sets it on his desk and starts
Yeah,
getting
hop
parchment
off.
out and pulling everything out and getting situated with art.
Sarah huffs up.
Okay, is there anything anyone else would be doing during this day? I will say for party knowledge, actually, Furia, you do get approached at some point shortly after breakfast by one of the avowed from the temple.
Okay.
They do advise you that the Great Reader has come out of their stupor. And
That's good.
and basically is aware that Art is spending the day per the arrangement that he already made with them with the book at the House of the Binder. So Great Reader just sort of wanders back off to their office. There's just not a whole lot they can do at the moment.
Yeah, I'll let the person from the temple know that, well, we're going to be leaving tomorrow, so if the reader has any questions for us, today would be the day.
Gives a little nod and advises you that he will let the reader know. We've got Murdoch and Rose off studying their maneuver book. Furia, Lydia, Sarah, anything the three of you would be doing during the day?
I would want to get transcribed anything I could about Airdrie Fania, the intermediate goddess of wind weather.
Oh, okay, well, that's gonna be something I sent you.
Yes. And anything more about anything about Grandfather Oak I could find. You sent me to, I would get that transcribed.
Oh, okay. Okay. Which of the ones was it? You said.
The first one, the goddess of wind.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a name.
Yeah. They're all quite daunting.
Okay. Yeah, so they are able to find some information on both, and they will copy the Grandfather Oak book that they transcribed for you. It's all the information I already sent to you.
Like a pamphlet. Okay.
Right. It's only a couple of pages, but they still charge you the full 100 gold for it.
Damn them. But it's so tiny. Why would you? No, you know what? I don't believe in these practices. I think you're scamming me. But oh well.
And then they do get they do have information on Airdrie Fania,
Okay.
also known as the Queen of Avariel. And they will copy that for you. And they actually have a decent bit of information on her.
Okay.
Also known as Bringer of Rain and Storms, Lady of Air and Wind, and the Winged Mother. And then we'll get that all copied and sent over to you also. So that'll basically those two things you're asking for will be ready for you to pick up in the morning before you depart.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay, so as we start to screen wipe, days passed for most of you through various studies, relaxing, whatever you may be doing is waiting for these last few things for Artemis to be, and for Lydia to be transcribed. Eventually, the Great Reader does come to the hearth to find all of you. And sort of sits down with the five of you that they're able to locate. Well, I have been advised that you will all be leaving us tomorrow.
Our journey continues.
And I see our young pink-haired friend is not present. I'm assuming still with the house binder. Once they're completed and the books returned, I will probably attempt that. Attempt the ritual they advised me worked for them. And see, but I would like to preface, if we are unsuccessful, we may reach back out. As having one such as your young friend spend some time in our employ translating it into for the knowledge pieces, perhaps not the spells, but at least the other text within into common. Arrangements could be potentially made, assuming our attempts here to commune with whatever granted them access fails.
If such a thing, if it goes that way, I think arrangements most definitely can be discussed, negotiated, and possibly arranged.
Get a little bit of a smirk from Vizirog. Have a lawyer.
And a bard.
I do trust that you will be advising your employer that I was helpful during your time here.
Actually, that raises a good point. One moment. I'm going to cast a sending spell to Hex. Hex, dear, I just wanted to personally inform you that the great reader at Candlekeep has been most accommodating to us. He's done well.
Is that all? I pulled my hip and I am currently on my way to the doctor's office. So I was hoping you'd give me something more substantial.
He says he is happy to have been informed that you've been so helpful to our group. And you have my personal thanks as well.
Gives a little bit of a nod to you, and well, that is about time for me to prepare myself for the evening meal and rest. So I wish you well on your journey, and should need arise, you will hear from me. Gives a little bow to everyone and proceeds to head out. As the rest of you start to begin, as we start to wipe to the next morning, eventually you do see Art return.
Something during the night. It's not that substantial, but I just wanted to say it. I wanted to do something during the night, and I wanted to make just a quick little thing if no one else wants.
Of course.
Okay. I wanted to look up at the sky, and oh my god, I'm not gonna say your name, I'm gonna butcher it. I'm gonna look at the sky and say, "Dear Miss Fenya, perhaps you can help me, as you are the goddess of the storm and the winds, which I've been through, and don't know if you're out there, but yeah, you might know more than I do." And just kind of like give her a nod at the sky, and then just kind of like lie down for sleep. And that would be it.
Oh, okay. Do me a favor, go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Oh, okay. 49.
Okay. So, as you call out, as you sort of come out and have this conversation looking up at the sky, a couple of minutes goes by and you don't really notice anything. As you start to head back inside, what's your passive perception?
I think it's 18. Yeah, it's 18.
Oh, okay. Off in the distance,
Yeah.
you hear this. It sounds like it's miles off. You hear the slight clap of thunder. And ever so slightly, you feel almost like the tingle of static electricity on your holy symbol.
I didn't. Yo! I didn't mean to piss you off. God damn it. Alright, I go back inside.
And then eventually, as the group takes their long rest, some of you awaken before, others are awakened by the tolling of the bell, advising that the first meal is upon you. They are preparing breakfast down in the hearth. And the day is yours.
I'm stuffing everything from the continental breakfast into my bag to prepare for the journey ahead.
Granny wishing she had a haversack.
Yep.
I don't want crumbs in mine.
Fair enough.
Which one of you has the bag of holding?
I have one.
Good, Murdoch, come over here. I'm gonna pull Murdoch by the bag strings and just start piling
Okay,
food
okay.
in.
Okay. Just don't. She's like doing that, and I feel like Murdoch's like, I see you grabbing some of the cutlery. Put that back. The food is fine.
I feel like we're all side-eyeing Granny, and I'm like, Granny, you can't put eggs in there. Go bad.
In what? It's magic.
Oh, okay. Maybe, I don't know.
It'll probably still go stale. I mean,
Sarah, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Oh boy.
Why do I keep rolling nines? 9.
Okay, that's enough. So you managed to loot a whole bunch of food without grabbing any of those little plastic cups of orange juice.
Oh, thank good.
But as you're doing it, you almost hear Fury in the back of your mind saying, it'll still go stale if you don't eat it.
Well, maybe if someone didn't fill up on good berries all the time.
I'm eating an apple.
And as this is going on, I take a quick look around the hearth to see if I spot little one in his normal spot.
You do not see little one as of yet.
Oh,
And you know from your few days here, he's not usually down here bright and early.
okay.
But eventually, after a little bit of time, one of the Avowed arrives for the group of you with a couple of tomes to deliver to Lydia. Lydia just had copied. Artemis comes down, sort of wiping a little bit of sleep out of their eyes. Looks like you guys are heading off, so where is the party deciding to head to?
Is it back to Baldur's Gate?
Which
At
one's
least-
closer, Succumber or Baldur's Gate?
Succumber is way up north. I think you mean
Was it-
Orlumber.
Yeah, I
Or
think it was
lumber,
or
yeah.
lumber. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Orlumber's
Baldur's
all
Gate
the way
is
up by-
closer. Let me
Okay.
do this for those of you who are in roll 20.
Yeah.
I
I
will-
just
It's-
forget.
Past our house, even, I think.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
the way
it's up
Oh,
a
it's on the
little
way to
ways.
Waterdeep, yeah. Okay.
So you guys are
Oh,
currently, I'm going to
wonderful.
shift ping you. You guys are down here at Candlekeep. So if we just go,
Oh yeah. Forgot how
Line.
close Baldur's Gate was.
so from Candlekeep, Baldur's Gate is right here. And then Orlumber is way up here.
Okay. Could we take a boat there?
You could if you want to. There are boats that leave out of Baldur's Gate.
Alright.
I guess you'd come out this way and then up that way. But there was also discussion that after you hit Baldur's Gate, you wanted to check on the house
the
before
house,
hitting
right.
Orlumber.
Gotcha.
So we were just looking at all sorts of weird geometric shapes right now.
Okay. I think we're summoning
I think
Yeah.
I think the best plan right now is just to head to Baldur's Gate,
Yes.
stay in an inn, and then keep going.
Yeah, I'm still learning where all these places are, so I'll just follow your lead on this.
I think Baldur's Gate is like an easily agreeable thing, and then continuing on either by land to the house or ship if we want to get north faster. But
Master, past and present. Say anything else about any other favors? I think these were the three you mentioned first, but I don't know if we had to do other ones for them either.
Just these three.
Okay.
just these three.
I have a feeling it won't be.
For
just-
now, but
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
He did mention he might have others. It was
Exactly.
these three
Okay,
for now.
that's
And at the rate we're going at these three, I mean, who knows when we're gonna get all the way up back.
As well. No one
Just
can
push all that.
necessarily plan for several months in another world.
if he's the master present, does he know then where we are?
Problem. I'm gonna.
I will make sure to leave my book on the hunt, like on the bar somewhere before I leave, just so I don't accidentally try to leave with it.
Oh, okay. Easy enough to do. Okay, anyone else got any last moment things as you guys are starting to head back out towards the exit and back to the real world?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. Eventually, is make your way back through the court, back out the gate. And the couple of people at the gate remind you that if you want to come back in, and again, next visit you would need additional tomes to bring in. They also advise you that if you find a rare enough tome, one tome can be used for the entire group, if it is something of sufficient value to them.
I point to Artemis and go,
Yeah.
I think you need us next time we come in.
I just give a little bit of a smile and give a nod to you. Don't seem to take what you're saying too seriously, but
Unfortunately, they're just the guys that stand at the gate.
You don't need to be book smart to stand in guard. And then I walk off.
Okay. She's senile. Have a nice day.
as you guys head out, you can see it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. You would remember from your travel down here, depending on whether or not you want to push yourselves, It took you just over 2 days to arrive here when you left from Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I have to camp again.
So I was actually just going to say it's nice to be out walking around in the outside.
Yes, I do love it. It's the air.
Less dusty.
So,
I have allergies.
so are we gonna push to get there as fast as we can, or what? What?
I think we could take it easy.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
to
you just
Baldur's
didn't
Gate.
seem too happy about that, having to sleep outdoors again.
But I also walk with a cane. I don't want to push it unless I have
I
to.
don't think you really need the cane as much as you let on.
I most definitely need.
Well, if you feel so poorly, I will turn into a horse and you can ride me all the way.
I just don't think that that's good for our ongoing relationship. I don't think that I want to have to speak with you after doing that.
It's up to you.
Maybe.
I could drop you on your head anytime I wanted. I'll just turn back into myself.
Okay. Jeez. Jeez, Louise. Do you want to push?
I'm kidding. You know I would never do that.
You know, if one of us could polymorph into a carriage, then we're already halfway there to having our transport again with Furia.
A carriage is not an animal.
Does it have to be an animal?
Yes.
Next time I come to
A brontosaurus.
What's a brontosaurus?
I don't know. I read about it in a kid's book on
I think it's a type of vegetable.
In Candlekeep. Was that in Candlekeep?
maybe.
Well, before we put the quite literal cart before the horse, let's walk for today. Let's see how the wind blows. Camping isn't that. I just make a stink.
Then I'll be sure not to stand behind you.
You know, this is one of the ways you and Jericho are a bit the same.
You're all getting very sassy lately. I don't quite like it. Don't ever compare me to Jericho again.
I pull a muffin out of Murdoch's bag of holding and hand it to her.
And all is forgiven.
It's blueberry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As the first day of travel commences, it's a very nice day out. You can see, walking in this area as you're heading north, at least for the first little while, there are some minor hills as you're heading back up the little ways towards the coastway to head back towards Baldur's Gate. And you have a pretty clear view out into the Sea of Swords. And you can see there are some gray clouds out in the distance. But at least at the moment, it doesn't seem like the weather is real. The bad weather doesn't really look like it's heading your way. And the first day manages to pass without incident, though. Comes to time for you guys to sort of settle down, take your rest for the evening, assuming you're going to. Is anyone taking watches? Are you pushing through? What's your plan for the night?
I think Murdoch would complain too much if we pushed on any more into the evening. So I'll look for a suitable place to camp.
I'll take a watch.
Candlekeep softened her too much. Those beds are too comfy.
24.
Okay. Well, which watch are you taking?
First watch.
Okay. And Fury, do me a favor, make a perception check just to see how you do for your location.
17.
Oh, okay, yeah. So as you guys have traveled up, you actually managed to find a little bit of space just off the path, sort of in between the Coastway and the Cloakwood, where it looks like you can see some remnants. It looks like other people have stopped at this point in the past. But nothing that jumps out that's saying it's been recently used. But we have Lydia taking first watch. Anyone taking any of the other three?
Yeah, I'll take second watch.
I'll take last.
Okay. So Fury and Rose, I need another, or I need a perception check from both of you. And then Murdoch or Sarah, would you be interested in third watch, or should Art take it?
Furia just said she would take third watch.
There are 4 in an evening.
There's 4.
So we've got first, second, and fourth.
I'll take it.
Okay, so we got Murdoch taking third.
Oh,
Okay, so perception check for you as well, Murdoch. Rose, what was yours?
12.
Okay. Furia?
A dirty 20.
Okay. And Murdoch?
6.
Okay. Okay, so as you guys get camp set up, goes through the evening. Again, for the majority of you, it passes somewhat peacefully. For Lydia and Furia, the two of you notice the storms off in the distance. You can hear. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry about that. You can hear the storms seem to be getting a little bit closer, but
I
still.
said I was sorry. I didn't mean to. If you would give me answers, I would not.
But still does not seem to be. Neither of you feel that there's any concern for tomorrow's travel.
Okay.
And again, Lydia, you get that sense a little less than Furia does, as Furia is hearing the same stuff right as the sun is starting to come up, so she's able to see it a little better than you can.
Okay.
As the sun is setting. And eventually the morning awakens. Or rather, all of you awaken in the morning. And then, as breakfast arrives, you continue on your travels. Anything anyone would be doing during their second day? Just moving along.
Passing out breakfast.
Walking along.
Working on my music, working on spells that haven't quite been perfected yet.
Okay.
I will do a detect magic just to see if anybody's watching us at the moment. Just,
Okay.
yeah. First level. I don't know if that level's up. I don't do detect magic very often.
So, as you cast it, you do actually see that floating sensor. As you're you're doing this as you're sort of wrapping up breakfast and getting ready to start moving, and you can see that there is this floating sensor floating basically about 1.5 feet behind Art's head.
Art, somebody's watching you. Again. Wave hi, they're over there.
Okay, Art is going to have a momentary art attack. And let me just take a look here and see.
I'm getting quite annoyed at that.
It is. I can dispel it if that's needed, Art.
I pick up a rock. Feria,
It's
tell
not-
me where it is.
I
Yes,
don't
I
think that
Could
works.
swing my axe at it.
Don't hit Art.
But
Well, no, I wouldn't hit ours. But
Art just sort of looks and will look at the review. Let's just not discuss anything. It's only around for about 10 minutes. I'll finish packing up and they can watch us pack.
Good enough.
And unfortunately, I can't see Art's spell book on their character sheet, so I don't know if Art has Dispel Magic or not.
Oh, I've got spell magic.
Yeah,
don't
I have it
worry.
prepared. I can, but I think I'll save it if it's only going to be around for 10 minutes, and we're not. We're just going to be walking.
Yeah, at this point, it's popped up. It's popped up, and you've caught whomever it is now. When you're literally just sort of wrapping up breakfast, Art gives you the impression they don't seem hugely concerned at the moment because it's not like anyone's really doing anything.
Right.
Oh wow! You
Yeah,
saw
so I'll
Murdoch
just-
likes to roll their sleeping bag counterclockwise instead of clockwise.
Bet you're a little freak, aren't you? That you know that about me now.
Yeah, so I'll just let it be. I'll keep an eye on it for as long as my detect magic is up. But just carry on with my day.
Pretty sure I think detect magic is 10 minutes as well, right?
I think so.
Yep, duration 10 minutes. So yeah, you would actually see that thing blink off, disappear just before your spell ran out. Probably about 3 or 4 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, so when I noticed it was gone. All right, it's gone now.
That's right. That's right. As the group of you proceed to start heading out, and again traveling north towards, continuing on your travels towards Baldur's Gate. And first half of the day passes without anything whatsoever. Eventually, you start to see probably about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles up the road. You can see a group of individuals traveling south towards you.
Do they look suspicious? Do they look suspicious?
They're a little over 1.5 miles away. Go ahead. You can make a perception check. It's going to be at disadvantage.
They're just standing there.
It's
Menacingly.
suspiciously.
Do we look suspicious to them?
Okay, so 13.
oh, okay. So you can see as you're sort of peering off in the distance, you can see what looks to be somewhere between 7 to 10 individuals. Looks like the majority of them are walking. There is some sort of, you're not sure if it's a small horse or a pony that's being led by one of the people. As for if they look menacing or suspicious at this distance, it's impossible to tell.
What are you looking at, Sarah?
They're a pretty big group.
How
There's
do
a
you see that
pony.
and I can't?
Ponies?
Uh,
Oh, they don't
they
like me.
they sure are walking over there.
They don't look menacing.
Or suspicious.
I mean, they have a pony instead of a fully sized horse. That's
What's wrong with that?
Does that
Ponies are cute.
mean
that-
anything?
that's the biggest discrepancy of normalcy I can think of.
Well, we're traveling on a main road. Ponies are good
People do.
sources of well, I was gonna say they're good sources of transportation for gnomes, dwarves, halflings, children, people who just happen to be short.
Villains. I'm trying to think of small things.
But I understand your concern because there are apparently leagues of people that are possibly looking for you. So why don't you make sure your hood is up and your cloak wrapped tightly?
I put like my shawl a little bit. Like,
One.
Okay. So you continue along, and as you start getting closer, you can see that these individuals, it looks like they are, as they're getting closer to you, you can see that the pony that they're sort of leading looks to be almost overburdened a little bit. As you can see, there's just no one's riding it, but there's, I don't know the proper term for it. Basically, it's one of those, I'll call it like a saddle blanket, but it's got bags on either side of it.
Saddlebags?
I think that's just
if that's the
it's just saddlebags.
that makes perfect sense now that I have thinking and I have saddlebags on my goddamn motorcycle.
Bags that are on.
those bags that they.
I'm sorry, I
put
didn't-
on
I-
saddles.
I apologize. I didn't mean to have like a condescending tone or anything. If
No,
I-
that's-
No, yeah, I think it is just saddlebags.
Very
Yeah.
fitting, though. Yes, but it seems to be carrying a large amount of stuff within said bags. And as you're starting to get a little closer, you're starting to see that there's just a motley assortment of not only individuals, but things sticking out of said bag that, at least at this distance, you can see. You can see there's a broom sticking out of one of them. There's what looks to be a rake and a pitchfork sticking out of another. You can see the majority of the group do appear to be of shorter stature. There is one individual that looks to be a little bit, quite a bit taller and a little bit more well-built.
Kind of looks like they're moving.
Yeah, it seems like they've strapped their whole livelihoods onto that poor pony.
I wonder where they're
course.
from.
Ask the horse if it's tired,
I don't know.
Miriam.
Why can't I just ask the people?
If the horse is tired,
It's a pony.
I'm
They're
gonna ask.
different.
I'm gonna ask the pony if he's tired, cause I can talk to beasts.
Let's
troubled.
Are we?
let's make sure we're okay to approach them.
Yeah, are we? Like within speaking distance of them at this point?
At this point, you're probably
We-
still a couple hundred yards apart.
Okay.
How is the pony? No.
Yeah, realistically, you guys will probably be, we'll call it passing each other within the next, 4 or 5 minutes.
I'm gonna kind of saddle up like alongside Murdoch, kind of like trying to hide myself behind her frame.
Oh, okay.
Does anyone in particular seem to be sort of the leader of this group, or is it just sort of a bunch of people traveling together?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I didn't know insight was a wisdom check. 19.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's a little difficult to tell. Your best guess from the way they're moving, it seems to be that at least in terms of during their travel, the taller, more well-built individual seems to be the one giving the instructions and guiding as it looks now. So you can see as they're starting to get closer, you can see sort of reaching out and just touching people on the shoulders. Seems to be moving slightly over towards the right. Make sure to give your group a berth to pass as well.
considering how intimidating our group might look with all of our weapons, I'll definitely move over on my side of the road. But as we get closer, I will call out. Hi there. You have a long journey ahead of you. You seem well provisioned.
The couple of, and as you're now this close, you would recognize that what you're seeing in front of you is what looks to be a taller half-elven man, and then sort of a motley crew of different gnomish individuals, male, female, young, old. As you say that, the gnomes all sort of turn and look at each other, seemingly a little confused. And you see the taller individual looks down and says something in gnomish to them. Which Art would recognize as him just saying it's... they're just saying hello. Just be a moment. And then looks back at you. Oh, well, Matt, we're the first ones we've seen on the road this morning. And where might the group of you be coming from?
Oh, we've just passed Candlekeep a couple days ago. Yesterday. On our way up towards Baldur's Gate.
Oh, we just passed through Baldur's Gate the other day. Probably not. Was it the other day? No, no, we left. Was it this morning we left? Yes, I think it was this morning. Sorry, I had a bit too much to drink last night.
Baldur's Gate, it happens. Many trouble on the road.
Not that we've seen so far. There was a strange naked person running around in Baldur's Gate as we were leaving, but the fists seemed to be dealing with that, so.
Odd. Well, maybe not odd for Baldur's Gate, but...
Par for the course.
As we don't tend to stay often there, heading out to do a bit of roughing it, shall we say.
It almost looked like... Go ahead, Murdoch.
Oh, sorry, I was just, where are you heading to Candlekeep, or are you continuing south?
Shall we say a bit of both? We're heading just a little further south. We're going to spend a little time at the Cloakwood.
Oh. I've never ventured in. Is there a settlement there that I'm not aware of? I've come up and down the coastway a few times.
Oh no, not a settlement, so to speak. There were some mines within the Cloakwood that flooded years ago. There were many dwarves. It was a very unfortunate situation, but my friends here are quite the tinkerers, and from time to time we will travel down and set up camp within the Cloakwood. Sort of poke around, see what we can find within the ruins of the old mines. One must be careful, though. There's a small band of druids that have been tied to there before, but we haven't really run into any. We don't tend to damage the flora or the fauna, so if they are truly still there, they tend to leave us be.
An interesting journey.
That provides, and he'll look over at the gnomes again, and again says a couple of things in gnomish. Again, Art would recognize it, and he's just saying, "Hey, let me see one of them." And one of them goes over to the saddlebag, opens a small pouch, and pulls up what looks to be a little metallic box. And the individual holds it up and says, "Oh, watch this." And he takes something, he starts winding something on the side, and you watch as the top of this square box opens into 6 triangular points facing straight up. And within you see a small icosahedron start to rotate as it plays a little bit of music.
That sounds familiar.
Oh. It's a
For those who
clever little device there.
may not remember their high school geometry classes,
Yeah.
icosahedron, also known as a 20-sided polyhedron.
Hey.
Oh, that looks familiar. Can we roll it? What does
Roll
it
it.
do?
It's
Look at it.
music,
Think of that.
Lydia.
Are we in the middle of initiative?
Not unless
How
Granny
funny.
stabs somebody.
How's pony?
If they make too many of these things, people like me are gonna be out of work.
Make too many of these things, we'll all be out of work.
All of us?
I don't have a job. I've never needed one.
Hmm.
After,
Well,
after a couple of moments, the you can hear the song starting to slow down as the rotating shape starts to slowly sink back in, and you watch as the 6 leaves close, and it looks just like a small metal box again.
that is really neat.
As they do so enjoy playing with the what do people call these tinker toys, and in order to do it they need the supplies and the metal, and rather than paying for raw supplies, which can get expensive, once we run low we take the trip down, see what we can come up with, and again is selling these for 350 gold each. You make a rather comfortable living.
Where do you sell these things?
Well, we travel here and there through various parts, but typically we can be found. I just did a button on my screen, and sorry, Twitch, hope that didn't mess up the cameras. I'm just double checking real quick. Oh, I can't check for sure. Sorry, hit a weird button instead of pulling up my notes. Let's go back. Typically, we are selling these out of a small settlement further along the further east of Baldur's Gate, called El Terrell. It's about midway to Triel and over by the Reaching Wood, if you're familiar with the area.
Never been myself, but yes, up the river.
Yes.
Heard it's a very fine city.
Typically, we take the ferry down to Baldur's Gate, and then from there come down. As some of the other areas we've attempted to get materials from, it's either more dangerous if we were to go further east towards, say, the Sunset Mountains and Darkhold, or is still rather militantly controlled by the dwarves.
If I ever find myself in El Terrell, I'll have to see if perhaps maybe I have coin for an interesting little
Tinker
What'd you
toy.
say? Tinker toy. Thank
Do you
you.
have any other Tinker Toys, or just the... gun?
And this is what I have present to it. We actually sold quite a few in Baldur's Gate on our way through. This is what I have left now, but typically we have all manner of them. We have little like animated animals that they'll build. Or you'll have a small thing, looks like a small puppy that will take a couple of steps forward each time you wind it.
That's adorable. Sweet one.
It does sound
We should continue on so we can make it to our camp for this evening. But actually, as you asked us, any concerns on the road as we head... Again, we're not heading as far south as you were coming from, but...
You might be in for some rough weather in the next couple of days. I point over to the clouds, out towards the water. But other than that, we've had no other problems.
Yeah, hopefully we can get camp set up before then. Thank you for the information, and good journey to you wherever your travels may take you.
You as well.
Gives a
And I'll
little
start
nod, then a couple
walking
of words in
forward.
Gnomish, and they start to head away.
Sort of curious. I'll ask all my questions on break, like, why is he traveling with the gnomes? Do they have elves in the pony? So many questions.
Who knows?
I know.
So as our party continues heading north towards Baldur's Gate, that is where we will take our break this evening.
Oh, good. Why was he traveling with the gnomes? What else does he have on his pony?
And as the Dungeon Master will say to break, should have asked him.
That's rude. Don't ask a man what he has on his pony for anything.
We will be back in just a few moments as we top off our drinks and whatnot, so definitely stay tuned if you're hanging out with us this evening. Thank you very much, and we'll be back soon as our party is making their way back to Baldur's Gate.
Here we making our way back down to Baldur's Gate. We go.
Welcome back, everyone, as our somewhat suspicious party is continuing their journey north towards Baldur's Gate. Having just passed a group of gnomes, a pony, and what looked to be a half-elven man on the road, and having a brief conversation with them, and continuing along their path. Eventually, you guys get to a point where you're probably about 30 or so miles outside of Baldur's Gate. As it's starting to get dark, it's getting to be about that time when you would normally consider setting up camp. You guys spending one more night on the road, or is the group looking to push through to get to Baldur's Gate sooner?
Mine one more night in
Murdoch,
like Murdoch wants to
it's
walk
sort of up to you. I think you've been
Yeah, it's fine with
the
me
most
if we-
delicate about this.
It doesn't need to just be up to me. I'd like to hear the group's sort of opinion, and I can just weigh in. I'm only one member of the whole.
I don't sleep as much as you guys. I don't care whether I sleep outside or in Baldur's Gate.
Is the rain closing in on us?
Go ahead and make a perception
Rain.
check.
Well, Furia mentioned the weather before, so. Why do I keep rolling 6s tonight? 8.
the 9 last time.
Doesn't seem to be at the moment. Think you should be good another night.
Another night under the stars is good for the soul.
That sounds
I make
Yeah,
a
that's
I make a
fine with
fuss
me.
because I just have appearances done. It doesn't really matter.
No, it goes good with stargazing. I pull
Hello.
some sausages and a plate of
Oh.
eggs out of my bag.
That is disgusting. I start looking for an adequate place to camp.
I'm sorry. So, Sarah, you're pulling out like sausage and eggs from Candlekeep?
Yeah. From the bag of holding.
Yep.
Is it a refrigerated bag
It's
of
still
holding?
2 days old. As you're sort of pulling it out, it smells a little rank.
I thought the magic is supposed to keep things fresh.
I mean,
It's not a
maybe if
bag
you,
of freshness.
maybe if we
refrigerator bag or throw
make a fire and put it over the fire, but
on a
it'd
cooler.
cook again.
I mean, it is cooked. At least it's not like raw. But I decided to let you do this as sort of a little experiment because I honestly didn't know. Now I do.
Right. Murdoch, I have something to admit to you, and you can't get angry at me.
You've been putting things in my bag this whole time.
No, there may be raw eggs as well.
Gonna think about eggs. And if they are soft,
as you just think eggs, and pull your hand out, you have got a handful of scrambled eggs, and sitting like as you reach in, picture reaching into just a shopping bag full of scrambled eggs, and as you claw in and pull it out, there's actually a solid raw, what appears to be a solid raw uncooked egg in the middle of it.
Yeah. We don't have to dry clean that.
I mean, it could have been over easy. That may have been worse.
You need to think of the
Raw-
plate.
Raw eggs straight from the chicken are fine without. They can last for days. Just maybe not the cooked ones.
you put the
Marshmallows.
cooked eggs in the bag?
It-
You're a baker!
On a plate.
Well, I didn't think about eggs on a plate. I thought about eggs!
Well, you should have thought of a plate then.
I think about a plate
Of eggs.
of
You're-
eggs.
The 2-day-old cooked eggs would still be in the bag, plate or not.
You do get a plate. Has 2 eggs, sunny side up.
That's like the worst thing. That's like the worst form of egg to have after 2 days.
You may want to think of a plate of scrambled eggs. Also eggs Benedict.
Furia, is it okay if I just like... Is it okay for an animal to eat? Can I just like...
As long as it's
I'm
not
sure
a
it will
bird.
decompose over time and it will be
Okay.
fine.
Can
It
I
is
just-
natural.
I just slop the eggs into like a bush.
As this is going on, some of you are getting the camp set up.
Like,
There's
wipe
a
it on
leaf over there that's
I
probably
was
big
gonna
enough.
say, I had to like, wipe
Is there
it
a
on a
stream
leaf.
nearby?
Okay.
Think of a towel.
There is a lovely, as you're sort of wiping this and shaking the plate off, Murdoch, there is a lovely crest emblazoned on the front of the plate. You recognize it from Candlekeep.
Candlekeep.
There you go, a
Great.
collector's plate.
We should start collecting them. That's a good idea.
No, it's not a good idea.
Oh, it's a
You can
terrible
put
idea.
it, can put it in the china cabinet in the kitchen in the house.
Yes.
Put it on a little stand.
Well, then we'll have to complete the set, though, if we do that.
Yes, a commemorative plate from every city state.
Yeah, eventually you get camp set up without a problem. Who's taking watches this evening?
I'll take first watch again.
Okay.
I'll take another one.
I'll take another watch again.
I'll take. I'm actually gonna ask Lydia.
Yes, Granny.
Could I take first watch since you have magic that allows you to see past sunset?
Okay, Granny.
Thanks.
And I sit during my watch blind. It's bad because I don't have dark vision.
She doesn't have dark
You
vision.
have
Okay.
magic. You made the coin that was bright.
Yeah, the light.
We also have a
spell.
campfire.
Okay, so I need perception checks from Sarah, Murdoch, Rose, and Lydia.
I rolled a 9.
Although I
Why-
could do 2. Can I do 2 cantrips in an hour?
You
In
can
the
do
2
2
hours.
cantrips in 6 seconds. I mean, in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
technically.
Okay. So I'll just do the light spell on like a branch or something.
Okay.
So I can
A rock.
whatever.
I rolled a 21 because apparently I'm allowed to roll good now.
19.
Okay, and Murdoch?
9. It's not her day. She hasn't recovered from Furia being mad at her. Thrown her completely off.
Or you know, the handful of
doesn't
eggs
help.
probably didn't help.
The eggs also
It doesn't
didn't
help that Fear has decided to stay up during your watch, probably.
Yeah. Is there anything anyone would be taking care of during their watch this evening?
I'm gonna open my bag and kind of just like sniff a couple of the muffins and biscuits I took. Make sure those are still good.
And so as you open the bag holding is literally...
No,
Says
no,
it
my
think-
bag,
I
my
think-
purse.
Oh, your purse. Okay.
The baked goods are in my purse.
As you're looking in your purse, it smells like a baker. It smells like basically day-old or 2-day-old bread. Doesn't smell bad, but as you're sort of taking one out and you just sort of go, boom, 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 it's sort of like hitting yourself in the head with a rock, because it is extremely hard at this point.
These might be better with tea.
Everything's better with tea.
I wanna see if something works here. Because Murdoch likes playing with her sending spell. I, air quote, saw an Albert in Sarah's dream. Does that make him familiar enough to me to attempt to target him with a sending spell?
I'll say sure. Why not?
You know, you don't know me, so this probably is scary. But you are Albert. Yes?
A few minutes goes by. And you get a response back. You must have been one that was with her in that dream. Oh. Ain't this entertaining? So where do we go from here?
Well, I'll send another sending spell, because now that worked. Indeed, I am one of them. You didn't actually answer my question, though. I could be a bridge for you two to speak, if that was something you wanted.
Another couple moments goes by, you get another response back. That's the name she knew me by. And do you really think she wants to speak with me?
I think she did. I'll do one more. I'll do one last one. I know I could upcast it, but... That woman is very important to me. And she knows much, much more than you or anyone else could ever believe. And she still wants to speak with you.
A few moments goes by, and eventually you get a very hushed response, almost whispering. Well, if she knows that much, just tell her to come by the office. We'll have a chat. I'm sure she must have figured at least that much out by now.
Since a lot of that is mental, sort of at that point, that's when Murdoch just sort of rests her chin on her hands. Well, now I'm contractually obligated to tell her about that. Played myself. Baldur's Gate. When we get to Baldur's Gate. I'll finish my watch.
Okay. Anyone else got anything they need to do during their watches? Okay. Eventually the evening comes to a close. For those of us taking the last watch, you can see the clouds are starting to roll in a bit closer now. Your best guess is the storm is probably going to be here about midday. If you sort of quicken your breakfast a little bit, you should be able to make it into Baldur's Gate within and get to the city before the rain starts to come down. The morning is yours as first light comes. Everyone awakens. You have a meal that some of you with more sensitive noses is probably a little uncomfortable with due to the slowly simmering smell of rotting food with the light now present.
Definitely having good berries this morning. And I will offer them to anybody else, as usual.
You also see that there is a rather large, what used to be a pile of eggs with a little bit of meat, is now just a massive squirming pile of black ants, just destroying the old food.
We're helping the ecosystem.
Nature is healing.
Or you're exterminators and you just killed an ant hive. Really not sure which.
I don't know. I don't know what scrambled eggs does to an ant.
Those of you watching on Twitch, message us and let us know.
If you know the answer.
Get in the comments.
Smash the subscribe button and tell us what you would do to an ant.
All right. You say that if we make a little bit of haste, we can get in just before the rain?
Yeah.
It smells like it's coming in soon.
I wouldn't
No,
mind
that's the
seeing a
eggs.
little bit of rain, but
No, it's definitely the rain.
Well, I can get you all set up probably, at any of the inns that you want to get set up at. I imagine it's just a night stay and then continue on. I really only need to check in at the office. I don't need to stay.
I don't have anything to do there specifically.
I have a possible request to
Heck.
Yes, I'm packing up as we talk here.
yeah. Murdoch, there is a teleporter at Baldur's Gate, correct?
I think it's not public. I don't think it's publicly available, but I'm quite sure that there's a circle in Baldur's Gate, probably in the. I mean, nobles can put whatever they want in their house, but I would assume probably in the upper city.
I mean, we use the Harper's teleportation. I wonder if they have one in Baldur's Gate.
That's also possible.
That would be a question for Art, but
I can definitely. If you give me a day back in my stomping grounds, I can figure out if there's one for you if you need it. Why?
I was thinking, possibly, maybe next time we come around. Well, for one thing, if we could see if there's one that could get us to Orlumber without having to, cross the sea and what have you.
Hmm.
But also, if there's one to do that, if I could perhaps see if it leads to the Nether Mountains.
Here's what I'll do for you. I'll make some rounds. I'll pay a toll and go up into the upper city. Ask around with some people that I know. And then why don't you, before you go back to the inn, come see me at my office. And I'll share with you what I found.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll spend a day, and then either we can broker a ship and go north via ship, or we can continue on land, depending on if we want to go to another city or go to the house. Approved?
I think we should go to the house, but yes.
Okay. Oh yeah. You can either or.
We can do many things.
Okay.
All right, let's get moving before that storm hits.
Please.
Yeah. Easy enough to make your way back. As you're only about 20-30 miles outside the city at this point. You make your way.
Murdoch will give everyone their writs back that I probably had filed.
Well, it's you can see that the flaming fist at the gate is seems to be a little down, that they weren't gonna be able to get some more coin out of you as you're approaching, but eventually, yeah, you're all able to get past back through. Get set up. Where would the majority of the group be looking to stay? Heading back to one of the same inn as before, or you heading to a different location?
I would be fine with the same one as before.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but
Yeah. Yeah, I was fine with that inn. It doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. If I remember, I'm just going to have to check. Where are my notes? Is it Blade and Stars? No, I don't think it was
No.
Blade and Stars.
It was something like the Smiling Lady or something like that.
I thought it was like the Gentle Unicorn, something like that.
Oh lord, hold on. I brought them to stay at the Blade and Stars.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What was the unicorn one?
What's the Gentle
Unicorn
Lady?
is- There's the Blushing Mermaid,
That's probably what I meant by the Gentle Lady.
and the unicorn is in Waterdeep, I believe.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I think that
close.
was the Gray
Yeah,
Unicorn or
so
something like
close.
that. Yeah, easy enough. You guys get set back up in the same hotel for the evening, and I'll swipe real quick over to Murdoch, who said they had to check in at her office.
Yes, I'm going to really just, if Farticus is in, just sort of be like, hello, yes, I forgot to use the new spell to let you know that I'm coming in, but it's just a passing through after our time in Candlekeep. How are things?
And that you get a quick rundown. Farticus will advise you. Basically, that last little passing task that you had given to Farticus to deal with the bail for the minor offenses in the neighborhood. Farticus takes probably about 20-25 minutes just running down names within the neighborhood that you're familiar with, and just letting you know what they were picked up for and why they felt they were okay to bail them out for it.
You're doing wonderful. I do not have any coin on hand. I can what can I do for him? I literally don't have any coin left. I will simply say I will try from now on to check in once a week. If any mail comes in, do I have any letters, cases, anything that I need to look over, paperwork, things to sign?
As Varshka sort of jumps for a minute and looks, and I haven't gotten any post in recently. Those that we bailed out were minor situations. Most of the bail was basically the fines that they were wanted for we'll call it the minor stupidity. So overall, it's been a quiet few days.
Okay. Well,
for Baldur's Gate, you know.
Of course. Heard there was a naked man that was running through the city?
Yeah, it's where did he come out of? I want to say it was out of was it the Smiling Boar? I think I think it's supposedly somebody was at the Smiling Boar, came basically tear-assing out of there, bare-ass, and managed to get probably about 50 or 100 yards outside the city gate before the fist took him down.
That's impressive.
It's ran around and seemed to be all like slicked up or something.
He was greased?
Apparently.
Cheeks and all?
I'm not quite sure. I didn't go looking for him.
Of course not. Sorry. It's just, that is quite a funny story. I'm going to have one of my clients here later tonight, but honestly, when's the last time you had a day off? Have you been taking your days off that you are supposed to be taking on the schedule?
He sort of looks away.
You're taking the rest of the day off. Go home, have some wine, take one of mine.
Oh, you do have some. Okay.
There we go. Thank you, dear.
Jordan grabs a bottle of wine and scurries out, apparently somewhat worried you might change your mind.
The last thing I need is someone getting on me for exploiting labor laws. Please. And then I will spend whatever time I need to see if I can get any of the answers for Sarah. If that's just a role of me like going and asking people or what have you, or if I already know, just if there's a more easily accessible teleportation circle.
You would know that there is, in fact, a teleportation circle within Baldur's Gate. It is, I guess I'll phrase it, it is governed by the Flaming Fist. You would also know that there's something that Murdoch would know just from things. Most known teleportation circles are dealt with larger cities.
Okay.
Things like you would know from a brief conversation y'all had, or rather Artemis had, with the group being present in Waterdeep, that the Harpers have a grouping of teleportation circles that are known only to them, which service between Waterdeep, Yartar, and some other different locations that you were actually able to utilize the one in Waterdeep. But in terms of one, as Sarah specifically asking about the Nether Mountains, let me just double check my map here. The closest known one that you would probably be able to get confirmation of from somebody would probably be Everland. Let me just
Okay.
double check. Because Everland is south of whatchamacallit. South of Silvery Moon, and if I remember correctly, that is where you went into before.
That is correct. Yep, we teleported over to that one, and then we walked over.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
closest one you know of that could get you near the Nether Mountains would be Everland.
Yeah, and Everland is like actually like right at the base of them, at least on the one
Yeah,
side.
if we're,
so-
let me make sure, is this a screen y'all are on? Yes. So Everland is like right. Oop, that's not my thinger. It's like right over here. And then the Nether Mountains are this big circled area over here.
Thank you, DM.
So, you just best guess is probably thing would be at least a few days travel to get towards the outside of the beginning of the Nether Mountains from there. And who knows about like entrances or exactly what you're looking for there. Okay. Looks like we've got most of the group is just Lexington taking the afternoon, evening to rest.
I would want to go to the market with Granny.
Hmm?
If I could, I would go to the market with Granny real quick.
Granny will go to the market with you.
I want it to be a surprise, but I want to show a nightly delicacy from where I come from home. And I was wondering if you could help me with the ingredients.
Of course, you did. But like your home, the one
No,
with,
no,
with
no,
the
my
squid.
not the squid home, the regular home.
Oh, okay. But yes,
but-
yes,
Sure.
yes.
It's marshmallow. I don't know if you've heard of them. And then you put some chocolate with it, and then you squeeze it heat it off the campfire. You squeeze it between two like bakery crackers. They're sweet crackers, not savory crackers.
Like an hors d'oeuvre.
No, it's called a s'more because you want some more of them. It's very clever.
Okay, I can uh, figure out this rustic charm of your s'mores.
Next time we're on the road, we should serve them together.
And you take two crackers, like
Yeah.
with the salt on top.
Not the salt, it's like a sweet honey cracker. Quite delicious.
Oh, like the kind you use to crush up for cheesecake.
Yes.
Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I know you would.
I will help. I will help Lydia. I have no idea what a marshmallow is, but I know what chocolate is, and I know what graham crackers are.
Okay, go ahead as you two are working together. Either one of you can make an investigation check with advantage.
Oh yeah.
Alright, Granny.
Thank God it was with advantage. 25.
Nice.
Okay. So it takes you all of about 2 minutes once you're in the marketplace to find these, to find the crackers and to find the chocolate. Eventually, you do find somebody who claims to be able to make this marshmallow that you were looking for. They do say it takes a little bit of time. And as it is an exotic... well, before we get there, say the cracker and the crackers and the chocolate, easily enough for you to replicate at least this portion of the recipe 3 or 4 times, and they charge you like 2 or 3 silver for each.
What?
When it comes to oh, excuse me, jeez, voice is acted up tonight. When it comes to the marshmallow portion, you do find someone who says they can make it for you. It'll take them a little bit of time, and they say it is exotic.
Ooh,
And
exotic.
as they're sort of going through and talking to the group of you, it's like, how much do you need?
A pound of marshmallows. Clearly.
Okay.
Okay, you're the expert.
They're just so
Is it
good.
good?
Let's
Okay.
eat them. Charm a little over the fire.
Oh, and there's a cat nearby.
It will take me about 4 hours to make it,
Oh.
and it's going to cost you 50 gold.
Oh! Okay, nothing too steep for my friends here.
I pat Lydia on the hand and I just whisper, Dragon Horde.
Okay, this goes too good, sir. I know it's a good thing. Yup.
Will you be... It's getting rather late in the day. Will you be coming back for this, or should I have it delivered somewhere?
Actually, can you make them tomorrow morning, and we'll get them before we leave? Does that sound good to everyone? Or Granny? Right.
Of course.
We can have them tomorrow night on the road, and it'll be toasty and fine, and reminds me of my youth.
I tend to get here sometime around between 8 and 9 in the morning, so
Right.
that will be at least half the gold down now.
Sure.
And
We shall be back, my good marshfellow, for the marshmallows.
It's so terrible.
have a good evening. And you can see they just start working on their recipe.
Oh my
Sarah
God.
then is killed by a runaway cart.
In the background, you hear somebody scream, "No, my cabbages!" as the cart just runs over Sarah.
Well, goodbye everybody, I'm rolling a new character.
Whoa!
Jean Valjean comes, looks Cardinal person. So many limits references.
You're all over it today.
I am. I'm gonna keep making them. For the next 34 minutes, I will make every limit reference possible. I could.
Anyone have anything else they need to take care of this evening?
I am going to mosey on over to the Sorceress Sundries just to see if Kaylin is around.
One Eye
Just
shows
check
up.
in. Just to check in, see if she's there. If not, meh.
So, as you pop in and sort of meander around a little bit, spend a few minutes, she doesn't appear to be there currently.
I will, I'll leave again. Not too concerned. She knows my number. Go back to the inn.
Okay. Eventually, as a group of you settle in for the evening, sleep claims all of you. Morning light begins to creep through blinds and shades as a group of you wake up in the morning. Someone's office assistant is a little bit hungover
Oh.
after drinking a full bottle of wine last night. And eventually, as the group of you begin to gather downstairs at the Blade and Stars for breakfast, The journey is yours. Already has some decisions on how they're proceeding to, how they're going to be heading out.
So we
Well,
have to leave
before we-
in afternoon. Sorry, Johnny.
Why?
So what was I?
Oh
'Cause-
crap! I didn't go see Murdoch.
Mhm.
Is Murdoch still at her office, right? I'm gonna point to Lydia and go, "Get the marshmallows. I'll be back." And I'm gonna
Alright.
run off to find Murdoch's office.
Murdoch, did you show anybody where your office was?
I believe so.
Oh, me.
You were.
Me.
Oh, that
As
was
I gave
Lydia
him,
you
like, a
brought to your
little
office.
tour.
Oh, that's right. You did give him a
Yeah.
Sarah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
You get lost.
I hope you get mugged on the way and then you mug someone else.
21.
Oh, okay. It takes you about 10 minutes. You do get a little turned around once, but... Eventually, you do find your way to Murdoch's office. You do also notice that when you get turned around a little bit, there was a member of the Flaming Fist sort of keeping an eye on you as you were running around slightly frantically, so... But you've...
Murdoch!
You burst open the doors and she's just at the end of the room behind her desk like... I waited all night.
I am so sorry.
I fell asleep.
There were marshmallows. Do you know what a marshmallow is? Because I'm still trying to figure out what we bought. But all you will be...
It's like gelatin.
How would you put that on chocolate?
I don't know. Come here. I have
Yeah,
some things
I
for
go
you.
over.
So, as this is one of the major cities of the Lord's Alliance, there are there's teleportation circles aplenty, of varying degrees of accessibility. I asked about being able to get close to the Nether Mountains, for example. It seems that we are already aware of that circle. It is the one in Everland that we went to when we were going up north to Silvery Moon. We went around the edge of the Nether Mountains. So I wrote everything down for you so that you can keep it in your purse so that if I'm not here, you can ask someone about it. But contract does bid me tell you something else that I've been doing. Because of me getting used to this sending spell, I've been trying to see who I can make sure that I keep in contact with, and I decided, since we had an encounter with a form of your husband in that dream, I attempted to see if I could reach out to him with my magic and communicate with him.
Uh-huh.
And I did. He responded. He is most certainly alive. You had your suspicions already. And he did confirm that Albert is the name that you know him by, so it seems that what we were assuming is correct. I did not speak extensively with him. I wanted to merely see if the spell worked. And I didn't necessarily reveal anything or try to speak on your behalf, save for the fact that you wanted to see him. Which I hope is fine that I said that.
Of course it is, yes.
He recognized me as one of the people from the dream, which would possibly imply that the one that we saved from that carriage may have actually been him. Connected in that weird, strange demi-plane. But he didn't know if you wanted to still see him. I assured him you did.
Of course I do. Can you call him back? Can you send him again?
I can send him whenever you want me to, and I'll say whatever you want me to say. He says that he hopes that you will come see him at the office, which I believe is the base that you had discovered.
Before Murdoch says that it's the base, I'm gonna look around my office.
No,
Out,
no,
out,
no. He's
out.
not here. No, sorry. There's no. And let's bring out Albert. Albert, come on.
Maury,
Let's see. I was
Maury.
going with more. I was going with more.
Yeah.
The cameras.
There's like 30 jump cuts. Yeah. Yes. Send.
I put my hands out to take your hands.
Send. Tell him. Tell him he's. Tell him his bluebell says hello.
Okay. I'll reach out right now, but hopefully he's awake, or I'm gonna wake him up.
You may wake him up. He was never an early riser, except that one time.
I will cast Sending on Albert, and I will, I'll say, this is probably going to become more frequent. I am here with Sarah. She wants me to tell you that your bluebell says hello. That is all.
Yeah. Few moments goes by, and you get a response back. The projection of the voice as you're listening to it is a little different. As you're picking up as you're hearing this response back, you're hearing it in Draconic. And the response you get is, "So she does. I'll be waiting for her." Has a similar sound to it, but it's very slightly different.
He says, so she does. I will be waiting for her. Was Albert a gifted linguist at all?
Not really. He did write poetry, but
Perhaps I should. The other part of his life, when you were researching in the book. A polyglot. He responded to me in Draconic. I don't know if he's just wanting to flex at me.
Draconic?
Yes, like my mother tongue. No?
No.
I think that we should, once we check back at the house, let's definitely make sure that we have all the information that we can before we get there. I'm sure that you have plenty of questions.
Could you send him again and ask if he's eaten well?
Sure. Why don't we do it while you and I walk back to the others?
Okay.
Okay. I will send him and say that she wants to know if you're eating well. Answer very carefully.
A few moments goes by. And you do get a response back. Again, that same draconic voice. She always was a good cook. It's hard to find meals like that here. But I make do.
He says, nothing compares to your cooking. The right answer.
Oh, he always knew the right answer.
Indeed. I wanted to tell you this information in private, but contractually I am obligated to tell the others. Are you okay with that?
Of course, yes. If it, yes, anything to see him again.
Of course. I'll go back with you, and for everyone that is immediately able to be told, I will just be like, hey, tried some sending spells. We have a confirmation that Albert is alive. He can speak Draconic. We're learning new things about the man every day, but it seems that there was at least some reality to the man that we saw in that dream. And I have a connection. Just to update everyone, so that you know.
That is a development.
Indeed. He seems to be where we were hoping he was, if he was to be anywhere.
Well, we have some things to do before we get that far, but it's on our list.
It is on the list. Okay. Well, all of my that is everything that I needed to square away here, so I am ready to go.
About that time,
as well.
Lydia, you'd probably be getting back with the marshmallow as well.
Okay.
It is a
I've-
massive 1 pound block.
Okay, I was gonna ask if it was a block of marshmallow or a
Yeah.
bag of small marshmallows.
Oh no, Lydia specifically asked for a pound, so they literally made you now mind you, we all have seen marshmallows before, you know how light these friggin' things are. They made you a solid block of marshmallow.
These are like those homemade marshmallows
Yep, I've
you
had
make.
homemade
Yep.
marshmallows. They're delicious. They melt like. Oh, I gotta order some.
Just a brick of mallow.
Yep. I have it under the cloak to try to surprise everyone to what's inside. I won't exactly hide it, but I won't tell anyone what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, when everybody's ready, I'll start heading out.
I'd like to jump and grab onto Lydia and be Lydia.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
what is that?
Which is
First off, under your coat, what?
It's the thing. It just cost the thing.
How are we supposed to get that onto the
Guys, can we
clippers?
talk while we walk?
Oh,
Think
yes,
what-
I start
what
like
thing?
pulling Lydia by the arm. And be
Yes,
like,
of course.
okay, regardless, Albert,
Yes.
Murdoch was able to talk to Albert, and he's, okay, we're walking, he's okay.
He's okay.
Yes,
He's okay.
he's okay.
He responded to a sending spell.
Oh, Albert, that's your husband, right, Sarah?
Yes.
See Lydia visibly clench the marshmallow so around her fist it gets kind of squished in a little.
Roger who?
No, you see her fist clench a little around the marshmallow, so they kind of get squeezed in a little around the edges.
Like still tucked away or out? for
No,
all
it's
to
like
see at this
it's
point?
under a cloak. It's a pound of
Okay, okay.
marshmallow.
Oh,
Under
a
I've
cloak.
been thinking you're like this, like you're.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
and
I-
maybe
No.
like
a
tucked it
phantom
under
of the
your own
marshmallow.
cloak. Okay,
I got what
okay.
No, like I'm holding a package. Like
Okay.
But yeah, he
he
responded.
did now.
Mhm.
And he's okay.
Yes.
Is
He does miss my
he
cooking.
close or are we're
We want to see him, do we?
He's still very far away. We have other things along the way.
that's good news, right? It seems
Good news. Of course it's good news. In her head, Lydia will compose a message to Albert, having known him too from the dream,
Uh-oh.
and say, "You have the benefit of being far away right now. But you hurt her again, and I will kill you. Understand? She's been through a lot. Make no mistake."
Go ahead and make an intimidation check for me.
Okay.
Little Murdoch on one shoulder,
That's a nat
relatively bigger but little.
20. That's a nat 20 I got.
Natural.
No modifiers, nat 20.
Oh.
oh nice.
Yeah. Little moon.
He doesn't know you're holding a marshmallow.
I know.
That marshmallow is gonna be his head.
Huh. Okay. You get a response back.
Mm.
It's very slow coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a very sort of nervous chuckle
Yeah.
at first. And then in giant,
Mm. Great.
you hear... And you speak giant, correct?
Yes.
In giant you hear... And another one. You must be the big one. I did what was necessary. And I really think you would try. And that's all you get.
Mm. Yes, these are delicious on graham crackers. We should have them tonight. And I will just briskly walk forward and just ignore everyone and just walk towards the gate.
I follow after Lydia.
Okay, so
Matthew, you're okay.
is the party? Did the party decide how they are departing Baldur's Gate? Are we heading home, or are we taking a boat towards Orlumber?
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
I really wanna go. So if I'm like walking first, I'm heading like probably down the banks of the river out to start anyway.
Okay.
Because I know our last conversation we were trying to um, chart the course. People didn't want to go through the fields of the dead, so I'm sort of sticking to
Yeah.
the river.
Mm. Yep. The long walk home.
Okay. That would be so two.
A room waits for Rose.
Hopefully, we'll see.
So we think.
Just wait till Rose sees our house.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot about it so far. See if it lives up to all the talk.
As we're walking, I'm gonna like occasionally tell Murdoch like, "Oh, ask him, if he, um, oh, oh, uh, uh, tell him about Candlekeep, um, uh, tell him, he if he's able to, he should meet us in or lumber, or even we could send him for the house, or but, yes.
Alright. I have to try and condense these a little bit to I only have so many spells. I would say, why don't we save the stories of our travels for when you two are together? That way
Oh.
you have all the more to talk to him about, but I will ask him about the possibility of meeting us somewhere. Okay?
Yes. Okay. You guys will notice Sarah has become like a schoolgirl with more wrinkles in her like demeanor.
Oh.
I will send him a spell that says, we are beginning on what is going to be a very long journey, because you are very far away. By any chance, would you be able to meet us halfway somewhere? Meet in a city? She is over the moon. It's Murdoch being all nice, not knowing that Lydia is standing behind her with like.
Yep. Exactly.
A little bit of time goes by. You do get a response back. Again, and back to the first vocalization you heard, speaking common.
Huh.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, there is business to be done. Going to be a little tied up for the next 10 days or so, but I'm certain we'll be in touch and can arrange to meet at one of our next destinations.
He says that things are quite busy and that he can't just immediately walk away, but since we are already traveling, he says if we stay in communication, we might be able to set up a meeting point between the two of us. Make things a little bit easier.
Okay.
He probably was not expecting me to just reach out of the blue in his... But I'll keep talking to him. I can only send so many a day.
Of course. Okay. just whenever he does give you a meeting place, we need to make sure that we stay in an actual inn, just so I can freshen up a little.
Okay. We'll keep that one between the girls.
Of course, of course.
Just gotta look around.
We'll make sure that you look wonderful. You already do,
You
but
look rosy right now, Gran. You look.
you look youthful.
Yes, you look lit from within. They say.
Your happiness is contagious.
I hand Lydia a slightly stale croissant.
Thank you.
Since she's holding the marshmallow brick, I'm gonna just slowly put it in her mouth.
Oh, I'm totally hungry right then.
As Sarah is sort of distracted with feeding Lydia and trying to reach all the way. I don't know how Sarah's doing it to reach all the way up into Lydia's
I always
mouth.
think that she just
I
climbs.
would too.
I've always thought that Sarah honestly just like climbs Lydia, to be entirely
Yeah,
I've
why
been
not?
picturing like Lydia always gets on her eye level and
I
is like
do.
crouching,
Yep,
and
I
so
would crouch.
Sarah's just going like, whoop.
Yep.
But
That-
as Sarah is sort of distracted with that, I'll sort of whisper over to Murdoch. And what happens when he comes and he's not her husband anymore? He's not the man that she knew.
Well, I think that in one way or another closure needs to come, and she didn't have that with an empty grave. But we'll be there for her.
Well, if whatever happens, happens, but I'm thinking him being dead was probably easier than what's going to happen next.
Possibly. But I know all too well. Having things left unsaid and questions unanswered. And I think that she at least does deserve answers. Even if it maybe hurts. But like I said, we'll be there for her if she needs us.
True.
For now, she knows he's not dead.
Well, give her happiness while she has it. And even my own questions might not have happy endings, so I understand, but that's just in the back of my mind. I have a feeling he's not going to be the person that she's hoping.
She's not the person that he thought she was anymore either.
Let's hope they can meet in the middle.
The same hope I have for us all. Looks back at her just blushing and thinking about all the things that she wants to say to him. Puts my glasses back on. You're muted.
Muted.
That had to happen at some point. They should wait till just about end. You can follow the river most of the way and then turn up north. It would add basically another day and a half to the journey. Should be looking at like four days and change to get there. Whereas if you were to more cut a stream straight across towards the house, you'd be there in 3 days.
Well, everybody, Fields of the Dead or another day on the road?
Another day on the road is.
What's with it with the words dead that nobody likes? They're just dead.
You're dead.
I'd go through the Fields of the Dead, but if
Wasn't
the rest of the
Field-
group doesn't want to,
Out of character, wasn't the Field of the Dead where we lost the cart in the fog?
No, that was
No.
up north.
That was
Okay.
before we got to the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time we can go through the City of the Dead. I also have I mean, I've cut through it a lot, so I've never seen the area if you cut around it.
Well, I mean, if we follow the river, we will hit some of the cities.
Mm-hmm.
Or small villages, I suppose.
We might even see
One of them you
the,
would recognize as El Terrell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, El Terrell is up the river, where those folk that we passed said that they had
All
set up
right.
a shop.
Oh yeah.
Let's totally do that.
I've never been to El Terrell. It's probably one of the few cities in the Lord's Alliance that I haven't made my way to. Has anyone been to El Terrell?
No, we didn't end up going this way. We ended up being teleported instead of
Yeah.
traveling this way.
Most every place I've been with all of you is a new place for me. So.
All
Is
right,
it,
another day on the road. Hey, Murdoch.
Another day on the road, indeed.
Oh, good. I've got a surprise for tonight.
Okay, so as the party is starting to head out, following along the river towards El Terrell before turning north and avoiding the fields of the dead once more on their way home. That'll take you, let me double check my numbers here again. It's going to take you about 2.5 days to reach El Terrell. And I can let you know between here and El Terrell, you're dealing with, let's double check our weather in the next couple. Yeah, on the couple of days between here and El Terrell, the weather holds, it's nice. You don't see, as you're not really on a main trade road, you do see over the course of the 2.5 days, you do see a couple of ferries passing in the river as you're walking along. Is there anything anyone would be doing at any point during this couple of days? Yep.
I had forgiven out the s'mores the first night that we camped.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
sticky.
Delicious. Alright, make sure they're cool enough. You don't
What
want
is
them to be
this?
too steaming hot.
What
And
is
then
this
you
thing
eat
called
them
again?
like a sandwich.
A smear, I think.
A
Oh,
s'more.
I mean
You want
the
s'more of
sticky
them.
the sticky part.
It's a marshmallow. It's just.
Oh,
I immediately set my marshmallow on fire
Well, that's
and
one
eat all the
technique
burnt
people
stuff off
use.
the outside.
Yes.
Oh, this is really good.
it's really sweet. It's gummy.
It's good though with the chocolate. Yes.
I'm like,
Melts
it's
a
like all
little.
sticky between my fingers. I'm like,
Oh no! You put it in your mouth. You don't play with it. No.
I'm doing the thing like a dog with peanut butter, just like
No. See, guys. Okay. Well, enjoy them while you can. They're yeah.
It is really good, Lydia. It's just
Yes.
unexpectedly messy.
Spongy.
Murdoch
Yeah,
is doing the thing that like a dog does when there's like peanut butter on the roof.
That's what Sarah
that's what I
just
just
said.
said. I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, we're both so like when they're both doing it, they look like
Like gumming at it. Like yeah.
this is tough on old people teeth.
It's like a
Well, that's
meringue.
tricky.
Almost.
My teeth are just as old
They're
as yours,
fine,
and they're
almost.
fine.
It's like a sweet meringue.
It's just like a sweet meringue.
Yeah, this is so good.
Yeah.
They're delicious. I miss home. We should go back.
Ah,
See mom and dad sometime. Oh, they love you a lot. He always wants me to go out and see other people and find my way, but oh gosh, they'd be so happy to see where I am with you.
I think that there's a lot of people who would be proud of all of you.
Go see them all.
Is there more?
Yeah, there's about.
Lydia bought marshmallow for days.
Yep.
We're gonna roast so many.
Can actually roast them. That's good. By the river.
Good weather. It's
As you all are enjoying this wonderful treat provided by Lydia with Sarah's assistance, that's where we'll call it into tonight's session, as our party's
Yay.
enjoying their dessert,
Happy ending.
continuing on their way towards towards home, the long way round.
And then Art gets shot by a crossbow bolt
No.
from nowhere.
From the ferry.
A burning goblin falls out of the sky.
A naked burning
naked
goblin.
greased.
A naked goblin covered in ever-burning grease.
Chase after it.
Like a rampant hog.
We just start roasting marshmallows over it.
Roast marshmallows over the goblin.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta run and keep up with it.
Literally, the party starts chasing the goblin with marshmallows on sticks. So we will be back next week, folks, to see how our party's going, but lots changed. I did not see the sending spell Albert coming.
Keep you on your toes. I've been thinking
Who's
about
ready
it.
to cry?
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yes, he is alive. And now is conversing with both Murdoch, playing good cop, and Lydia, playing I'm gonna fucking kill you cop.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, there was a book written about how you're like a super assassin, so.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, and don't forget, folks, we'll be back next week. We do have streams running most evenings. And just a quick shout out to one that is coming to a close. Kindred
Oh, no.
Lists is on their final episode this Friday. So if you've been following along with it, definitely check it out. This is, when I say the final episode, I mean that quite literally. It is the epilogue episode, so definitely check it out if you've been following
I
along.
don't cry.
Yeah,
strong.
there's going to be a whole lot of ugly crying.
Are you guys
Probably a
19?
couple of surprise twists that people have
None of
thrown
them
in
seem-
at the last moment just to make things interesting. So, as we seem to be doing here as well. So definitely tune in. Actually, Ink, do you know this week, is it Vigil this week?
No, it is Waterdeep.
Waterdeep this week? Okay.
We are also sort of like moving towards our epilogue
Oh.
for Dragon Heist, and then things.
So definitely keep your eyes out. A lot of things going on right now on a lot of these streams, so keep your eyes open, as well as you'll see new announcements. There are things, follow us on Twitter. You'll get a lot of the updates there. Facebook as well, if you found us there. Things are going to be new streams starting. We have our own Victoria. It's going to be running, it's Witchlight, right?
Wildly on the Witchlight.
And then
Resident
there is
Fairy.
a new stream coming with a new game type coming beginning of the year.
Do 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 do.
Some of us might be too old to know what that theme song is, but I know the name of the
No.
theme song.
Never.
Definitely check it out. So with that being said, folks, remember when you think something might work, why the hell not just give it a shot? Add your proficiency bonus to it, and you might be able to talk to a party member's thought to be deceased husband. You know,
It's Murdoch,
Pick 'em up.
bitch.
give him a call. Then watch your soul break. See you next time, folks.
Good night.
Bye.